Yo, what up? I don't even know. This case is so crazy. It's actually sad. It's crazy. It's like everything and too much details to be honest. But can I say something real quick? So, for whatever reason, the prosecution said that you cannot ask about Cassie's health status. Now, the well, I don't know if I could just start right off saying this, but the escort testified today. One of the dancers, they called him a dancer and not an escort. But come on, what else? The security guard and the officer that responded to a scene, the hotel scene, also testified today, and it was crazy the way I told you, being on the stand is extremely difficult. So we're gonna go into detail right now. We're gonna start. I'm trying to figure out even if I should do an intro real quick. But you know what? I'm gonna do an intro, give some people a few seconds to get in here, but we're gonna get into this. It got to the point where so the kids was there watching Diddy's kids. They all were sitting there and they had to watch the escort say some pretty graphic stuff to the point where the kids had to leave. Like the girls, they got up and just walked the hell out. And then they came back in and then they had to walk back out again. They was like, oh, he's still going. He's still going. Cause it got to the point where like when they on the stand, Cassie actually choked on, when you go to the bathroom, that stuff that come out. Yeah, she literally choked on that mess. But we gonna start the intro.
Talk crazy on tweets. They don't want it cause I come to defeat. They don't want it. I peek, these niggas all sweet. Bamboo sticks all in the Jeep. It's a new weirdo every week. Get the work, put it up for my seeds. No care for the IG, just no care. Anything for club. They do anything for club. Do anything for club. They do anything for club. Do anything for club. They do anything for club. Do anything for club.
People need to hear this. It's a lot of names on my hit list. Still say what he wants to. Still wet like a big. I should run a whole blog at this rate. They using my name for clickbait. See who wanna start fake beef. Sell a little weed in the mixtape. They know I'm the bomb. They ticking me off. Say anything to get a response. I know that mean they traffic is slow. Somebody just gotta practice along. So she being tame. They'd rather be wild. This bandit, they wanna be down. Soon as got something to sell, they say my name, Destiny Child. Everybody wanna be lit. Everybody wanna be rich. Everybody wanna be this. If us who out hate me. Read my problems. All of that talking, I'm calling it out. Public opinions from private accounts.
All right, so we're gonna start off with so remember the incident report that the hotel scene where this is where we all saw on the news where Cassie trying to run out, and then you see Diddy come behind her and hit her and everything else. So pretty much I told you that the defense is saying that they did have a toxic relationship. He's not proud of it. However, that's not a crime. So the charges is racketeering. That's pretty much saying that he had a whole team in place to cover up stuff that he was doing, which is like, traffic lights and stuff like that. And people being at places unwillingly or unwanting to. So, good night. Shower. Yes, shower. My kid. Okay. Testing. All right, so I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought for 1 second. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. So Brian still is Diddy's lawyer. Keep that in mind. So the officer was called to the scene. So he's saying that, Cassie was like, she want to go home. He won't let her go home. And that she had like a black eye and stuff like that. So he gave down a rundown that she couldn't leave and everything else. Now, however, Diddy's lawyer gets up on the stand and he was like, in your incident report. Oh, and he also said that he offered me $100,000, which I did not take. I'm like, this ninja's like, anyway, we're going to get into that. So he offered him $100,000. The cop said he did not take it he said he didn't even realize that something had happened to her until he got home and he saw, I think he saw the tape or something. So he didn't know at the time. That was what he given. However, he did do an incident report. So Diddy's lawyers got on stand and was like, well, you never said that she had a black eye. And you never said, what did he say? You said in your incident report, look, line here, 9, that he told Cassie to go home. So then, right? So then all of a sudden, he rebutted everything and he made I think it was the security guard or the police officer, made him look pretty stupid and pretty bad in court, like he was lying, because the incident report had no reports of anything, any force or anything. So the prosecutor stands up and she's like, listen, can we play that tape again? Mind you, everybody had played the tape a couple of times. So she was like, we're going to start at the 1 minute mark. And then she played the tape when she's at the door at the elevator, and then you see Diddy swoop down and didn't let her go and stuff like that. He's like, does this look like a person that's free to leave? You know what? Let's play it from the top. Does this look like a person that's free to leave? You know what? Let's play it one more time. Does this look like a person that's free to leave? She said, I rest my case. So then she walks off. Now, this is where it gets slicey and dicey and messed up. Now, mind you, Diddy's kids everybody's in the courtroom. So you got the 2 twins there, the 3 girls, because, one of them is twins, and then one set of twins, and then the other girl, and then you got King and the other 2. Yo, the escort gets on the stage. His name is Daniel. I forgot his last name. Now, he was sleeping with her pretty heavy. Now, Diddy will constantly tell him to finish off. I'm gonna get in trouble. Finish off in Cassie. So he would make him release whatever it is that he needed to release inside of the girl, Cassie. Yo, what was I gonna say? Just trigger warning, y'all, because this is definitely graphic. So what happened was, the first time Cassie was like, I want to have some fun tonight and it's my birthday and stuff like that. Or she was like, my man is here. He's straight, but he just likes to watch, like a cuckold. So he didn't know it was Diddy at first. This is Diddy. He has shades on and he has hold on 1 second. So he's sitting in the corner, right? Because he didn't know it was Diddy. And these dark ass shades on, right? So freaking off. So that's what he's doing in the corner. And, of course, his name is something else, but he's sitting there in the corner watching Cassie and the guy go at it. And I guess the first time the guy, he finished off really quick and he left. But then he said that as soon as he was downstairs, 10 minutes later, Cassie calls him back up and was like, I want more. So he came up again. So there was a lot of direction going on. There's a lot of baby oil being used and everything. It's all, hold on, let me see. Hey, Air Maxwell. I hope you don't see me in them. You're funny. So now, here is the thing. The guy was uncomfortable after a while because he was like, listen, I don't want to do this anymore, because he was like, I don't want to keep sleeping with this girl raw. He was like, I want to see her health record. I told you, they're not allowed to ask about Cassie's health records in the court. So he was like, he felt uncomfortable sleeping with her consistently raw. He was like, I want to see your health records. And he showed her his records. And it was like that Cassie never showed him her records. And I guess he was getting paid. They asked him how much was he getting paid. He was getting paid anywhere from $700 to $7,000 when he would come to these hotel rooms. And he was like, sometimes it would go 1 hour, sometimes it'll go 6 hours, sometimes it'll go 10 hours. But so one time he said he didn't always want to finish off inside Cassie, but he would be instructed to do it. And he said one time he faked it. So then after they were done, Cassie would get up and go in a room with Diddy. And all of a sudden, I think like maybe 30 minutes later, she had to come back out. And she was like, they would ask, allegedly, because this is all hearsay, did you finish off? Are you sure you finished off in her? And he was like, he was lying. And he was like, yeah. So whatever was going on in that room, all I got to say is your man Diddy's a freak. I mean, we already know, but I mean beyond, because they came back out and they asked, are you sure? Please. This is definitely X-rated. Are you sure you finished your situation in her? Anyway, we gonna keep on moving. Eventually, like his code name when he wants freak offs is Black. So they would go to the room for Black. Eventually, after time passed over and over and over again, he stopped sitting in the corner with a mask on and stopped hiding his face. And he was saying that one time they was all like, having stuff done and it was like another man was looking at Diddy while he was sleeping with Cassie, and Puffy was like, nah, you're making me feel uncomfortable. Don't stare at me. I'm straight, pretty much. Hey Inga, what's up? How you doing, girl? All right. So they said that Cassie was requested to have a golden shower. Like she would ask. No, I got it from somebody else that went. So this is alleged, but this is like the notes. Y'all gotta, who y'all gotta look at? This guy, Armand Wiggins. He's actually pretty good. He actually went to a court too. So anyway, trust me, I think you guys sleep there from 2:00 in the morning, probably 1:00 in the morning tomorrow, because Cassie's going to be there. Okay, his name is Daniel Phillips. So Cassie requested him to golden shower the person. Yo, Young Miami, I'm just going to say this real quick. If I was Young Miami, I would not be bragging that I slept with Diddy after this court case. She is not going to, because the world is going to be looking at her. So anyway, so she was like that Cassie specifically, Cassie called and was like, I want you to golden shower me. And they was like, at first he did it because he didn't know how to do it. So he just freaking drenched the chick. And they was like, yo, let me know if I'm too provocative for YouTube, because I probably, with water. Y'all know I'm not talking about water, right? I'm just saying. So Cassie was like, that's not how you do it. And they said her and Diddy and her was teaching her how they wanted it done. It was also saying that it was seeming like it was I'm gonna tell you in a second. So in the middle of it, this is where the daughters got back. I mean, they had to get up and they just walked the hell out. So they said eventually his, like after so many sessions, eventually, like after a while, he wasn't getting aroused. And they was like, well, what happened? He was like, it kind of stopped. Like after the first time, like he was hurting Cassie, Diddy, because they would go in the room. So they would freak off, and then Cassie and Diddy would go in the room and do other stuff. And then they would come back out, and he would have to like sit there for like an hour, 2 hours or whatever. And then they would come back out, and then she would freak off again. And then she would go in the room with Diddy. Like, this is some weird mess. Like, he's a weird kink. Because I told you, at least sometimes they would come out and they'd be like, yo, did you finish in her? Because you're supposed to finish in her. And so I don't know if he was, y'all know what I think he was doing. Cassie ran into, so one time they got into a fight, and he said he didn't see it, the escort. He's like in the living room, because that's where he would just be sitting in the living room and stuff like that. And he was like waiting, because they would just have him sit there. Like he couldn't leave until they were done. But like they would go in there for like an hour, 2 hours and stuff like that. So one time, like it got physical, and he heard him hitting her, Diddy hitting on Cassie. So he did not like that. So, but when Diddy first met him, he took a picture of his ID, like Goodfellas. And he's like, oh, now I have insurance. He was like, I have insurance. So the escort was always scared, the dancer. They labeled him the dancer. I'm sorry. Scared to always say something, because they didn't know what was going to go on. So this is when I know I'm about to say something ridiculous. So don't mind my facial expressions, because I'm like, oh, wow. So again, that mess was going on in the room. So Cassie runs out of the room after they fought, and she would just run, and she wanted to be held by the dancer, and she would just cuddle in his arms. And then they was like, well, and then she would start kissing him, and then they would start freaking off. And then he said one time he looked up, your man Diddy was in the corner getting right off of the site. I feel like he's in the corner working something out. Oh, let me check my stocks. Look, I trade all the time. I forgot I was in the stock market right now. Oh. Okay. This is getting crazy. Sorry. Do I want to be in anymore? I don't think I want to be in anymore. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. One second. I'm coming. I'm all yours. Bad choice of words being what I'm talking about. You know what? I'll let it ride. Whatever. Okay. Sorry. I am so back. Yeah. So they would kiss and cuddle and hug. He said that's what she said. I know. So they would kiss and cuddle and hug, and next thing you know, they would start getting off, and then all of a sudden, they look in the dancer looked in the corner, and he saw Diddy like getting situations going on. So they had like a whole bunch of code words and code games they would play. I don't know what airport runaway was. I guess they would role play, like maybe she's like in the airport and stuff like that. And then he would command her to, dump inside of your chick, and he would have to. He would also want everybody dope. Okay, so see, that's what the internet is running wild, because they're not saying that the oil had anything in it. They're saying that he really did want everybody dosed in baby oil. He'd want everybody like so much oil on them, and then sometimes he'll be like, "That's not enough oil. We need more oil." Like everybody just had oil. So they said that now this is where it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, they're saying Cassie was definitely kinky on her own too. So even when the dancer, they call him a dancer. We know what he was. When the dancer stopped coming around, he would check on Cassie still, because I guess they had a relationship. I guess because he's letting off in the girl. So he would text her, "I want to F you," and she would respond. Like they were definitely texting on the side privately. And he would text her like, "I want to F you right now," and stuff like that. And this is when he stopped coming around with Diddy. This is what him and Cassie used to talk about on the side. They said Diddy would record the sessions. And of course, I told you Diddy took a picture of the ID. So the guy also talked about one time he was asked to take, Ali with an M. And he said Diddy had gave him $7,000 that time. So because he was so beam me up Scotty, he went out in Times Square and he wasted all his $7,000. He said he started handing out hundreds to strangers in Times Square. I'm like, where was this ninja at? He was just, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. He was just giving out hundreds, feeling good. He said sometimes he knew he wasn't the only one. So mind you, they couldn't wear protection. Diddy would ask him to, pump and dump in. Oh, am I getting too graphic? Pump and dump inside Cassie. And sometimes he would get there after the fact and realize that another dancer or escort has been there before he got there. So they were going for hours getting person at the person. Listen. Yeah, so they're saying that it feels like your girl was in on it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so his charges are traffic lighting, racketeering, essay, taking of a person without their will, that starts with a K, kid, and arson. Okay. This is going to be a crazy day tomorrow, because I believe, hey, Stephen Harris, how you doing? I believe Cassie is coming in tomorrow to testify. Now, she will probably be on the stand for the whole entire day. She probably be on the stand for a couple of days. I ain't gonna lie. Because they're gonna cross and examine. Like, it's going to be hell. Okay. Did I tell you how Diddy's lawyer got down with the security at the hotel? He was like that. He was bribed $100,000 keep his mouth shut and stuff like that. Do you know Diddy's lawyer got there and was like, didn't y'all say he had to pay for the damages done in the hotel? And he was like, yeah. So when he handed you the $100,000, you don't think that was for the damages? You assume that he was paying you off? And the guy was like all stammering and stuttering and confused. So it was just they said that Brian Steele, he is definitely wild crazy. So they really made the security guard look like he wasn't being honest at all. What else? I guess that is pretty much it. I know y'all late now. Y'all want to come in now when I already spilt, no pun intended, if y'all seen what I said earlier, the deeds. Let me see. Hey, Stephen Harris. Dwayne Williams said, Diddy grease me down too. LOL. Sean Diddy Combs, day one of trial end as attorney present opening statements in trafficking case. Stephen Harris, there was a lot more than that. I went through it, but it was a whole dancer, which I believe sounds like escort to me, that testified, and they had to teach him how to let a golden shower off. They said they both was teaching him how to do it, because they would teach him. They would be like, no, you got to sprinkle some here, and then you got to stop, and then you got to wait a little bit, and then you got to sprinkle some. Don't ask me why I paid attention to these damn details. And then you got to, like, she literally and Diddy, they were teaching him, and they was like that. She was definitely into it. So sorry. And then they said that there was another one where he just golden showered where she speaks at, to the point where she was choking and stuff like that, like a fire hose. Whew. Okay. So that was day one. We got that over with. Any questions? Anybody want to speak? Don't all speak at once. And then we're done. Nobody? Y'all quiet. I feel like y'all acting like Diddy in the corner. I'm joking. This ain't funny. TP said Diddy looking like Mr. in the courtroom. Yes, but the thing is, they're saying that this is not a case of a... So his lawyers are saying this is not about abuse. Like, he did it. Everybody knows that. He's not ashamed of it, but that's not what he's on trial for. So they're like, y'all can see all of that all y'all want, but y'all saying that he took people against their will, like, that's not what was going on. This was a relationship. It was definitely traumatic and stuff like that. So, and yes, everybody knew he got like a little rage in him and he flies off at the handle, but that's just what it was. That's what his defense is saying, and the prosecution is saying that they were being there and they was unwilling and stuff like that. So we're going to... Yeah, so it turns out, I think one of the witnesses that they can't contact, everyone believes that is Gina Hunn. That was Diddy's... I need some water. The fact that I could drink water after this. Oh, yeah. She's going to be a hostile witness for the prosecution. Because it looked like she's on Diddy's team, because they said that she will tell you that she enjoyed it. And I'm sure she's going to tell you that he enjoyed it. So the prosecution is preparing us for her to tell us that she's doing this against her will. So we're going to see. I think she's going to hurt the case, the prosecution's case. I'm sure she's going to hurt the prosecution's case. Because the thing is, if she's Team Diddy, she's probably going to say a lot of other stuff about how probably Cassie might have threatened her, or, you know, this is me. This is not what happened. I'm just thinking, because, you know, they had arguments over him. So I'm pretty sure she's probably going to say, oh, Cassie was like, leave my man alone. That's my man, you know, stuff like that. So we're going to see, because this is going to be crazy tomorrow. All right, guys. I love you guys, and thank you for watching. And make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Did I? Stephen Harris said, Diddy trial timeline, how rapper landed in hot seats facing life behind bars. Thank you, TP. All right, guys. I'm going to see y'all later on tomorrow, probably. Take care. Love you guys.